I want to go back to what I addressed at the outset. I mean, this was not only sloppy, it not only violated all procedures, but if this information had gotten out, American lives could have been lost. The Houthis had this information, could reposition their defensive systems. So I want to get a little more information about this. Director Gabbard, did you participate in the group chat with Secretary of Defense and other Trump senior officials discussing the Yemen war plans?
Folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another episode of Washington's Circus, and let me tell you, the clowns are out in full force. A senator just went after Tulsi Gabbard over so-called signal chat leaks, trying to paint her as some kind of security threat. But let's be real, this was nothing more than a witch hunt. Now, before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the truth that the mainstream media won't tell you. Let's break this down.
Senator, I don't want to get into the specifics.
Ma'am, were you on? You're not going to be willing to address. So you're not. Are you denying? Matt, will you answer my question, ma'am? You were not TG on this group chat.
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
So you refuse to acknowledge whether you were on this group chat.
Senator, I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why are you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified?
Because this is currently under review by the National Security
Because
Council.
it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
As the White House previously
Is it classified or non-classified information on this text?
I can confirm.
Director Radcliffe, were you on the group chat?
Senator, I was on a signal messaging group.
So you were the John Ratcliffe on that chat?
I was.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I provide some context, Senator, to that?
Yes, but I've got a series of questions.
Well, but I think it's important because at the outset you made a couple of comments about signal messaging using encrypted apps. So that we're clear, one of the first things that happened when I was confirmed as CIA director was signal was loaded onto my computer at the CIA, as it is for most CIA officers. One of the things that I was briefed on very early, Senator, was by the CIA records management folks about the use of signal as a permissible work use. It is. That is a practice that preceded the current administration to the Biden administration.
Director Ratcliffe, I've got a series of questions. If you're making the statement, if you're making the statement, the signal is a secure channel.
No, can I answer that? It is
I've got a series
end-to-end encryption. So to finish,
I understand encryption.
It is permissible to use to communicate and coordinate for work purposes, provided, Senator, that any decisions that are made are also recorded through formal channels. Right. So those were procedures that were implemented. My staff implemented those processes, followed those processes, complied with those processes, and finally, just please. So my communications, to be clear, in a signal message group were entirely permissible and lawful and did not include classified information.
Well, we will make that determination, because if it's not classified, share the text with the committee. Let me go on. Director Gabbard, you are the security executive and set access guidelines for classified information. Did you contact the defense secretary or others after this specific military planning was put out and say, hey, we should be doing this in a SCIF?
There was no classified material that was shared in that.
So then if there was no classified material, share it with the committee. You can't have it both ways. These are important jobs. This is our national security. Bobbing and weaving and trying to, filibuster your answer. So please answer the question. If this was Director Gabbard, if this was a rank and file intelligence officer who did this kind of careless behavior, what would you do with them?
Senator, I'll reiterate that there was no classified material that was shared in that.
Ma'am, if there's no classified materials, share. And then if there's no classified materials, then you can't even answer the question whether you're on the chat. This is strangely familiar, and I think my colleagues will remember, when you couldn't answer the question, is Edward Snowden a traitor? Ma'am, I have serious doubts about anyway. Director Gabbard, I'm going to give you this, tweeted just 11 days ago, and I'm quoting you. Any unauthorized release of classified information is a violation of the law and will be treated as such. So if this information is classified, what are you going to do?
Senator, 2 points here. First of all, there's a difference between inadvertent release versus
Careless and sloppy.
malicious leaks of classified information. The second point is there was no classified information that was on
Then the
the
information
Signal
committee
group
should get that
chat.
information. Director
And the
Patel,
National Security
Director
Council
Patel,
was
my time's
reviewing
about out,
how
and I'm
this
going to use
occurred.
my 12 seconds that the chairman came. Director Patel, has the FBI launched any investigation of this?
Senator, I was just briefed about it late last night, this morning. I don't have an update.
I would like to get an answer by the end of the day.
Oh boy, here we go again. Another big government stooge acting like he's defending national security while really just trying to score political points. You can hear it in his voice. He's desperate for a gotcha moment. But Tulsi, she isn't having it. And honestly, she shouldn't have to play into their little game. The senator keeps demanding, "Were you in the group chat?" as if just being in a chat means you're guilty of something. Excuse me? Since when is participating in a conversation a crime? Ah, and here's the part they want you to think is some sort of scandal. Tulsi refusing to answer his ridiculous question. And you know what? Good. She doesn't owe these people a single word beyond what's legally required. You see, this is how the deep state operates. They don't need evidence. They don't need actual wrongdoing. They just need to manufacture doubt, smear your reputation, and let the media do the rest. They wanted her to blurt something out so they could twist it against her. But Tulsi isn't stupid. She's a warrior, and she knows how to handle political ambushes like this one. And here's another trick from the playbook, demanding private communications. Now hold on a second. Didn't these same people cheerlead for Hillary Clinton when she deleted 30,000 emails? But now suddenly they care about transparency? Give me a break. If this chat was so dangerous, why is the senator playing politics instead of taking real action? Because he knows there's nothing there. He's trying to trap Tulsi, trying to create a scandal where there isn't one. If she hands over those texts, they'll nitpick every word, take things out of context, and spin another fake outrage story. She's smart to hold the line. Oh, and here comes John Ratcliffe, admitting that yes, he was in the chat. Notice how the senator doesn't go after him the same way he goes after Tulsi? Why? Because Ratcliffe doesn't fit their narrative. He was a Trump official, and they want to keep the attack focused on Tulsi. They're scared of her, folks. She's a freethinker, she's not owned by the establishment, and they hate that she tells the truth. That's why they're trying so hard to corner her. And here's the funniest part. Tulsi is literally telling them that Signal is a government-approved tool. Let me spell that out. Government officials use Signal all the time. But of course, the senator ignores this. He's not interested in facts. He's interested in drama, theater, and a fake scandal to distract from what's really happening in this country. Inflation, border crisis, government overreach. Nope. Let's talk about a group chat instead. Oh, now this is rich. The senator pretends like Tulsi's actions are the same as some low-level intelligence officer leaking top-secret information. Give me a break. She's not some rogue spy. She's a patriot, a former congresswoman, a veteran. She knows the rules, and most importantly, she's not part of their club. That's why they're after her. If this was one of their own, they'd be bending over backward to cover it up. And here's the cherry on top. They try to use Tulsi's own words against her. Oh, you said unauthorized leaks are illegal. Yeah, and this wasn't a leak. There was no classified information, and she made that very clear. They're grasping at straws, folks. They want to paint her as a hypocrite, but they've got nothing. And just like that, they want the FBI involved. Really? The same FBI that sat on Hunter Biden's laptop for years? The same FBI that lied about FISA warrants to spy on Trump? Oh, sure. Let's totally trust them to conduct a fair investigation. Give me a break. This is political theater from top to bottom. So what have we learned today? This is just another attempt by the establishment to tear down anyone who refuses to fall in line. They hate Tulsi because she speaks the truth, because she doesn't play their games, and because she refuses to be bullied. This entire hearing was a joke. and the senator exposed himself as just another swamp creature trying to score cheap political points. But Tulsi? She stood her ground, and that's exactly why we respect her. If you're tired of the media's lies and the establishment's games, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe, and share this with every patriot you know. We've got to wake people up to what's really happening. Until next time, stay free, stay bold, and God bless America.